Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have The Last of the Giants, Wild Fish. Yes, this is another National Geographic series about fish that we've had. The second one we've had a number of days, weeks. I don't know. It seems like we're leaning into fish that aren't sharks. Like there's some kind of revenge that's going on for me. Just bashing sharks. There are no sharks in this one so far. I only watched one episode. This is, it's from 2022. It's 2 seasons. It's pretty new, and it looks great. It's filmed beautifully. Lots of handheld cameras, high-end cameras, shooting above and below the water. And it's a team of guys with varying skill sets. There's guys who do the cameras, and they all have their certain personalities. They spend some time introducing each one of them and what they do and why they do it, and they're led by a guy named Cyril Shanket. I am butchering that name, I'm sure. Sorry, Cyril. But yeah, they go into the wilds. In this case, the first episode, they go to the Amazon, into some deep parts of the Amazon. They get escorted. Half the episode is not even just, hey, look, let's go look at fish. Let's go find a giant fish, which this thing is gigantic. Because they're doing it to get a DNA sample so they can do research on it to find out more about it. Some that had never really been caught for these purposes. So many of them are poached to eat, to sell, because they're valuable and they're rare. And in this case, they want to do something to keep them from disappearing from the earth. Some of these are massive fish, and I can't think of the name of what Piraguchu. Yeah, either way, let's just say this shows the second episode because I watched the first one, and they're still in the same jungle in the Amazon, separate from everybody except for their team. And it's not often, like, usually when you see these things, it's just like, oh, this man is out in the wilderness and he's just fighting everything. And you kind of forget that there's probably a cameraman, a producer, an assistant, all with him, not just like a guy talking to a camera that he's not holding. So in this case, it's very much the cameramen are part of it. It's sometimes, I don't know if there's ever a shot with the 2 cameramen in the shot. If there is, then there's a third cameraman. I don't know. Either way, this, like I said, the first part of this episode is just about getting to the spot where they need to go to fish. And Cyril, at least, has to wear a bulletproof vest because there's poachers out there willing to kill them, so that nobody stops them or that sees them as competition, or because they're also traveling with the military police in Brazil. That might be it too. They tend to be armed and they tend to fight back sometimes. Military police are pretty hardcore against poachers in that part of the world, and rightfully so, because they even go into the marketplaces and crack down on a lot of illegal fishing and fishes that were acquired illegally, and they show a scene with that. So it's pretty rough and tumble, kind of, building the drama. Yeah, you can tell sometimes with these things, some stuff the drama is manufactured. It's edited together with music that makes it all the more intense, and that's understandable. You want to make it interesting for people who are watching it, who aren't just like hardcore, I love gut watching guys fish kind of thing. Some people could just sit there and watch people fish and not have any bit of music at all on this on the production. I don't know, but in this case, it adds the drama, and some of the fish, they go up against piranhas. There's even an anaconda that shows up. That's not a fish; it's a snake. But they go after one of these things just to get a little snippet of its tail fin or its dorsal fin, and so they can get something that can be used in research. And in fact, one point where they do run into an anaconda trapped in some other fishermen's nets who are not poachers, these guys are ready with their machete to chop this anaconda in pieces, and they're like, no, hold on, let's stop. Let's see if we can get a hold of this. And of course, Cyril's front and center because he's the star of this, and he's grabs the anaconda by the head and, wrangles it into submission while the other guys hold other parts of it down. And they, at the same time, he's giving information about what it would do if it could actually catch you. Like, oh, well, if it has teeth, you don't want to be bitten by it because you can get an infection from it. But what they really do is they get a good hold of you, pull you underwater, wrap around you, and they suffocate you to death that way. And so he's parlaying all this information while he's holding onto the snake. It seems a little unlikely that he'd be just spitting out that knowledge while fighting a deadly creature such as that's at least 15 feet long. But yeah, it happens. And the funny thing is about this first episode, it ends in a cliffhanger. Like, I don't know if they do that with every episode, but literally as they're making their way back from what their mission, basically, suddenly they realize it's starting to rain really heavily and they got to cover up their cameras, except for obviously one, because they have to film them doing their thing. Suddenly a flash flood just starts sweeping into the jungle, and who knows what that brings with it beyond just drowning. So yeah, it's certainly exciting. It's certainly interesting. It's not the kind of thing that I'm into, that I'm not gonna watch another episode of. But for people who really love the survivalist, it's not like one of those other ones that are survivalist things necessarily, but it is definitely an element of survival in harsh climates and terrains and land and water, and with creatures that are unpredictable. Like I said, there's piranha in this. They actually go fishing for piranha standing in the water. Yeah, it's because they need to catch piranha in order to catch this fish. Yeah. So there's levels to danger in this that they submit themselves to. And it's a pretty eclectic crew. Like I said, there's 2 seasons. There's 8 episodes, 16 episodes. So that's not too bad. It might be a whole cohesive story adventure. I don't know if it did go to places other than the Amazon, but you know what? You can find out by checking it out on Disney+. Okay. This is the last episode of the month and the quarter. And that means whenever a new quarter starts, this is the final quarter of 2023, when the new quarter starts, I reset the entire list. So I've gone through all of Disney Plus, and I've gone through my list, and I've cut out all the stuff we've already watched, and any of the duplicates or things that are no longer on Disney Plus. There's a lot of stuff that got just taken away, I discovered as I went through the list. And I checked to find all the new stuff that's been added. New series, new documentaries, new movies, everything else. There are some that I'm saving up. Well, I have to save because they're not on Disney Plus yet. Like Haunted Mansion, we're going to watch in a few days when it premieres on Wednesday. So I'll be up at midnight watching that the night before. So what we're going to do is we're going to have... I'm resetting the list. There's now... We used to have 496 was the last count. We're down to 442. And why is that? Even though we've added a ton, there's been a ton of new shorts, classic animated shorts added to Disney Plus over the last 3 months, a couple each week. And so, yeah, there's a whole lot of them, especially leading up to, Halloween and stuff like that, getting you prepared for the fall. There's a lot of those in there. But the reason why this number is also down is because they added at least a dozen new shark-themed shows, and I had enough of it. We already had like 36 or so, or we had 20. We had 2 dozen, so we were up to 36 total shark shows, and already, if I take those away, we still have double the amount of documentaries than we do of anything else. Twice as many than we do have of movies, twice as many as we have of, or more than twice as many as we have of series or shorts. So I've done a thing. I've wiped away all the shark-related programming, but I may do something with that in the future, maybe a spin-off. I don't know. I really don't know, but I'm going to build toward it, and we'll see what we do. But we get the point of the shark things. Okay? We get it. No more shark things. So, we're starting fresh, brand new list. Everything on here is stuff that's old stuff we haven't watched yet, and new stuff, brand new stuff. And yeah, so, and this is locked into the end of the year, and we'll only watch we'll only add random new things that I choose based on the time of year or whenever I feel like it. But for the most part, everything is random like it normally is. So here we go. The first episode of the new quarter for October 1st. Here we go.
296.
296. I'm at this point, usually I know where all the things are numerically. I don't know where 296 lands. I don't know on this list. What would we get with 296? Oh my. We get a short. I don't know if it's a short. It might be like an episode. The things that I color-coded yellow are shorts and specials, like one-off type of things. So I'm not really sure what this is or how long it is, but we'll check it out anyway. It is Rise Up, Sing Out. Yeah. I'm feeling I know what it is, but we'll see. Rise Up, Sing Out is what we're watching next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.